What's going on everyone? Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about camera rumors right now, the upcoming Sony A7R VI. If you've been following the high-resolution camera space, you already know that the Sony A7R VI has held a dominant position for quite some time, especially when it comes to pure detail and image quality. It has been the go-to choice for landscape photographers, studio professionals, and anyone who prioritizes resolution above all else. But now, the conversation is shifting. The leaks and industry whispers surrounding the Sony A7R VI are starting to feel less like speculation and more like an early look at a major turning point for Sony's R series. What makes this upcoming camera so intriguing is not just a simple increase in megapixels, but the possibility of a complete transformation in how the R lineup is designed and positioned. Historically, the A7R series has been seen as a specialized tool. It excels in controlled environments where detail matters most, but it has always lagged behind in speed compared to other models in Sony's lineup. Cameras like the Sony A1 have handled high-speed performance, while the Sony A7S III has dominated the video space. The R series sat comfortably in its own lane until now. According to current rumors, Sony is exploring two different sensor directions for the Sony A7R VI. The first option is a 67-megapixel stacked CMOS sensor. On paper, that might not sound like a dramatic leap from the existing 61-megapixel sensor, but the real story lies in the stacked architecture. This design places memory layers directly behind the sensor, dramatically increasing readout speed. Faster readout means less rolling shutter distortion, which has long been one of the biggest limitations of high-resolution cameras. If the leaks are accurate, we could be looking at full sensor readout speeds fast enough to support burst shooting at up to 30 frames per second in 14-bit RAW. That kind of performance would bring the A7R line much closer to flagship territory, directly challenging cameras like the Sony A1 Mark II. Then there's the second, more ambitious possibility, a 102-megapixel sensor. If Sony chooses this route, the Sony A7R VI could push full-frame photography into territory that has traditionally been dominated by medium-format systems. A sensor with that level of resolution would offer incredible detail, making it ideal for large-scale prints, commercial work, and ultra-high-end photography. However, this path also introduces challenges. At 102 megapixels, factors like diffraction and lens resolving power become much more critical. Even premium lenses like Sony's G Master lineup would be pushed to their limits, and not every photographer would be able to fully take advantage of that resolution in real-world scenarios. Regardless of which sensor Sony ultimately chooses, one thing seems clear: the era of slow, non-stacked high-resolution sensors is coming to an end. The Sony A7R VI is expected to prioritize both speed and detail, effectively removing the traditional trade-off between resolution and performance. This alone could redefine what photographers expect from a high-resolution camera. Where things become even more exciting is in the video department. Traditionally, Sony has kept its product lines relatively segmented. The R series focused on still photography, the S series catered to videographers, and the flagship models attempted to bridge the gap. But the Sony A7R VI appears to be breaking those boundaries. If the 67-megapixel stacked sensor becomes reality, there are strong indications that the camera could support 10K video recording at 30 frames per second. While 10K might sound excessive for most users, the real advantage lies in post-production flexibility. Shooting in 10K allows creators to crop, stabilize, and reframe footage while still delivering pristine 8K or 4K output. In addition to that, The camera is rumored to support 8K recording at 60 frames per second and 4K at 120 frames per second, potentially without the heavy crop factors that limited previous models. If these features are implemented effectively, the Sony A7R VI could become a serious competitor to hybrid-focused cameras like the Nikon Z8 and the Canon EOS R5 Mark II. To support these advanced video capabilities, Sony is expected to introduce new processing technologies. One of the most talked about features is dual conversion gain HDR, often referred to as DCG HDR. This technology allows the sensor to capture two different gain levels simultaneously, effectively combining them into a single image. The result is improved dynamic range, cleaner shadows, and better highlight retention, particularly in challenging lighting conditions. When paired with a next-generation image processor, possibly an updated version of Sony's Bionz XR, the camera could deliver significant improvements in both still and video performance. Another area where the Sony A7R VI is expected to evolve is stabilization. Rumors suggest that the camera could feature up to 9 stops of in-body image stabilization. If true, this would be a major upgrade, making handheld shooting more reliable even at extremely high resolutions. Combined with faster sensor readout, this could significantly reduce motion-related artifacts, giving photographers and videographers more freedom in dynamic shooting situations. Autofocus is also likely to see major improvements. Sony has already made significant strides in AI-driven autofocus systems, and the next generation is expected to push things even further. Early reports point to an advanced system capable of predictive tracking, sometimes referred to as skeletal or motion-based prediction. This means the camera could anticipate subject movement before it happens, resulting in more accurate and consistent focus tracking. It's a clear indication that modern cameras are becoming increasingly intelligent, handling more of the technical workload so creators can focus on composition and storytelling. The real question is whether this level of performance aligns with your needs. For some, it may be the perfect upgrade, offering unmatched flexibility and power. For others, it may represent diminishing returns in a market where existing cameras are already incredibly capable. Either way, the Sony A7R VI is a camera worth watching closely as more details continue to emerge.